What qualifies a good design for Hetish?
Good design seamlessly integrates, on the one hand side, functionality and aesthetics.
These design trends or innovation at a international furniture landscape and then particularly in India?
Everything, but in terms of sustainability and the link to the carbon footprint, we as a group we are aiming to become carbon neutral by latest 2030.
Every house would look the same, right? So how do you handle that challenge?
The end consumer can decide, for example, in which color, in which material he wants to have the Avantec U drawer system. So, and the carpenter or the OEM, he can customize according to his wishes. So, on the one hand side, I believe modularization is important in terms of efficiency, but also in terms of quality. And it's not a fun fact. I guess it's a serious topic which is affecting our industry, especially in the way of doing business in India. And this is about the BRS standards, so the Bureau of Indian Standardization.
In my 204th episode with Neelkanth Chhaya, we spoke about synthesis of standardization. I asked him, does standardization kill diversity, ingenuity? To which he gave a brilliant insight. Sometimes we need standardization, while sometimes we don't. Standardization at a micro level can be really helpful for building efficiency. A brick can be standardized, but a house is left to imagination. Our today's guest is walking this tightrope of building scalable systems through standardization, but empowering interior designers and architects to build homes and industries. Andre Eckold. He's a managing director of a German lifestyle brand, Hetish. This episode is for interior designers, architects, and other allied work streams. We'll try and understand design trends and innovation happening in the furniture landscape, how Hetish incorporates eco friendly and sustainable materials, and of course, how do they support the designer's ecosystem, implementing their vision in the systems framework. Welcome, Andre. Thanks for giving your time. It's a real pleasure to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me, and looking forward.
Absolutely. So, I wanted to start by asking you who are kind of the main customers or the key stakeholders in the ecosystem, right? Like interior designers and consumers, architects. If you could start off by giving us like a brief introduction of how the ecosystem works at Hetish.
I am giving you an answer from a global scale, right? So how EdHB is being perceived also on a global scale, and from a global perspective, what are how is our customer base looking like actually? So, and we have to see that we are 136-year-old HSC nowadays. We are in the fourth generation, and Hettich is, you can say, still 100% in the hands of the family. And Dr. Andreas Hettich, the fourth generation himself, is still very much into the business. And as you can understand, as a 136-year-old brand, it's always about long-term sustainable growth together with our partners out there. So, and the partners can be completely diverse, right? So, from a global scale, we can say that obviously our base is in the center of Germany, in a city called Kirchlengern, which is very close to Hanover. So Hanover might be known to one or the other. And the advantage of this location is that it is, like you can say, the Silicon Valley of the kitchen industry. So that's where Hettich, even though we started 136 years old, but like 60, 70 years ago when we moved to this region, that's where the story of Hettich really began, because you have to understand that all the bigger key accounts, like a Nobilia, like a Hecker, Nolte, Simatic, Borg & Pol, all of them are in a circle of, let's say, 50 to 70 kilometers around us. And you can say that Hettich was growing together with these key accounts. So, and that's also where all the innovations were coming from. If you see today, all the patents which we have, most of the patents on the solutions which we have in the market has been designed together with our partners. So we can say from a global scale, we are very much into a B2B, and we are growing, and we're growing together with the big kitchen manufacturers in the world. And I was just naming a few German key accounts, and Nobilia, as you know, is on a global scale the biggest kitchen manufacturer worldwide. So, and yeah, he's just in a distance of 40, 50 kilometers around us. So, that's the one perspective. On the other hand side, if you take other markets like India as an example, it's not this typical B2B and growing with selected key accounts. It's very much trade driven on the one hand side in the B2B, but on the other hand side, it's also very important that we have direct access in the B2B2C, means we have to be visible also to the end consumer as a brand. And for us, it's very important also how the end consumer is perceiving us as a brand, because we are positioning ourselves in the premium and the luxury market with the solutions which we are providing to our industry and to our customers out there. So at the end of the day, you can say it's really diverse. From a global scale, it's more about a key account business. From let's say a region perspective, it can be completely different. Based on the example of Hettich doing business in India, there is still very strong pull from the trade. So the typical dealer business, distributor business. But what is also very important for us is that there is always also a strong connection to interior designers, architects, up to the level of carpenters. So carpenters are also brand ambassadors for us, and they are very important. And the same is also with respect to interior designers and architects who are also representing and pitching our brand. And we are very happy and proud that we have such a big base of partners over the last so many years, which is supporting us growing our business.
Awesome. So, but when you said B2B2C, in that C is typically not the end consumer who's like a retail buyer. It's finally the C, the customers are interior designers, carpenters, as you mentioned, architects, because I'm sure like a layman wouldn't understand like what's the technology behind a trolley and a self-opening mechanism, or like the shelves, how do they work. So does it like really translate to that level in any other region?
Also here, I would say yes and no. India, I would say, is a more a DIY market, right? Buy it yourself and get some expert who is installing the fitting for you. So that's how I would name it. Whereas many Western countries, like especially in Germany or in the western or eastern part of Europe, this is a typical DIY market, do it yourself. So, and there it's the people are going also to the DIY markets where they also find our solutions. They buy furniture fittings like easy to assemble hinges. I mean, that's really not a rocket science, but up to really complicated sliding door fittings. And they are interested. They are also using our YouTube channels where we are also explaining to the end consumer how are we supposed to assemble, or how are you supposed to assemble from a B2C perspective our fittings in the most easy and sufficient way. So yes, I would say it's coming along with the interest, but also with the skill set of the end consumer. And, there are always people who are interested and who are having their projects at home, and they try out. And if it is not working, we have our customer service hotline 24/7 available, so we are also happy to support.
So in today's world, if we see Hetish is known for furniture systems solution, right? So could you unpack this word for us? What does a furniture system mean also, right? Like what goes beyond individual or modular components? What's kind of the lineup which one can expect?
Hettich is not a furniture company. We innovate and also manufacture furniture fittings, or let's say furniture fittings systems. Think of us as the like Intel Inside, so the Intel chip in the furniture, empowering it with motion, space-saving features, convenience, aesthetics, and more. And our mission is to create magical interior experiences that also transcend into individual or modular components. So each element we design and produce seamlessly integrates to realize our customers' vision of their dream furniture. So we strive to transform spaces into personalized, you can say, heavens that inspire and elevate daily living. So through our innovative and aesthetic solutions, also we can say that we aim to bring the magic of exceptional design into everyone's home and also work space. So at the end of the day, we want to give also the interior designer to give him the freedom and not to be a burden in his way of, let's say, designing a new concept. And we want to give him a solution and the freedom also.
Totally makes sense. In fact, I have a bunch of questions around that. What qualifies a good design for Hetish, right? How do you define innovation in the world of systems, in the world of products that you are building?
Good design seamlessly integrates, on the one hand side, functionality and aesthetics, at the same time also creating a harmonious blend that has captive users. So functionality on the one hand side relies on various factors, including durability, space efficiency, ease of installation, stability, convenience of use, comfort, etc., etc. And our product design results from the combination of these factors. So on the other hand side, it's about aesthetics. So aesthetics focus on providing a premium look or allowing customers to personalize their furniture to match their style and also their preferences. So this strategic approach ensures that each design is not only meets the practical needs, but also delights the sense, achieving timeless appeal and enduring our satisfaction. We are dedicated to develop elegant and also highly functional solutions. So our mission is to create magical interior experiences. Our greatest testament is are all the design awards which we are getting for our innovations, like the Red Dot Design Award, the IF Design Awards, the German Design Award, and the Interzoom Award. So this is also something where we are very proud about, because at the end of the day, I was talking about our rich legacy of 136 years old, always targeting sustainable growth. So together with our partners, we are proud to say that we are setting the new trends in the industry, and others are still copying us. So that's the greatest testament, the greatest award what you can get.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, somebody's copying, which means that we are doing it right. So, yeah. So I believe Hetish operates within a complex web of integrated systems, right? Like supply chain, and there's a lot of, as you mentioned in the beginning, a huge ecosystem, right? So, how do the company build or grow a culture of innovation? Because to me, from my layman understanding of Hetish and the products that I've seen, many of them seem to be either concealed or sometimes more functional. Yes, there is an aesthetic part to it, but still predominantly it's because it's German, there's a lot of engineering in it. So can you give an example of like any successful innovation that emerged out of this framework, or kind of started people noticing about the products and the functionality with the aesthetic part of it?
I believe where innovation happens is, on the one hand side, obviously, as a German engineering company or by heart, there's always a risk that we develop products which are over-engineered at the end of the day. So this is typical German habit, but also accepted in the world, right? So it's like fit and forget. You will never have any issue. This is also with our products like Intel Insight. It's again the same. So, but on the other hand side, it's always about understanding about the market needs and the market trends. So again, talking a little bit more from a global perspective. So there is, in very minimal cases, there is a product where you say, and this goes global now, it fits everywhere, and it's everywhere accepted. So obviously, if it is just fulfilling a function, then it will work everywhere in the world, it doesn't matter. But when it is about design, and if it is visible to the end customer, it's always about aesthetics and also the local needs. So obviously, we are targeting also to enable our subsidiaries worldwide to be as close as possible to the needs of the market, and also to bring individual products and individual solutions which are required for the individual markets. Therefore, we need to be very close to our customer base. So this is the one perspective. On the other hand side, innovation happens also, and I was referring to the Silicon Valley of the kitchen industry. So if you have the entire industry together at a short circle around you, then also you have common projects where you understand about the need from a B2B perspective, from a key account, and you develop together new solutions. So also here innovation happens, which may have the potential also for a global scale, right? But it's not a must at this point of time. So, and on the other hand side, we are also having a really standalone, separate vertical, which has the freedom to think into what is happening in 20 years. So what are the trends of the industry? What is the needs of the market in 20 years? How is our world looking like in 20 years? How do we live like? What will change? And what solutions would be needed? So, and also this is helping us to always not only act in today, but always think in tomorrow and derive from this the latest solutions. And one good example is a product called FurnaceBin, so which brings a completely new solution to our industry. So which is at the end of the day, it's about spinning and turning around. So this is something which you do not have in your furniture at home at the moment. So normally you're opening and closing a wardrobe to show and display something or to hide something, and the FurnaceBin is bringing rotating movement into your furniture, like a chair which you are sitting on, which you can rotate easily. So, and that's a very interesting, completely new innovation. So it's hard to express it in words. So I request you to Google FurnaceBin, and you will find a lot of nice also interest on YouTube about this product. So where we understood there is a need in the market to think different. The kitchen at home is not only for cooking, it's also very much an area which you would like to show and share with friends. So FurnaceBin is helping also you to be proud about your kitchen, for example, what you have in the home, and when you want to display the nice things which you have hidden behind closed doors.
I'll add links in the show notes doing my research bit. You spoke about, I actually have two questions around the same point which you mentioned, that one is thinking of 20 years out, 30 years out, and since it's a 136-year-old legacy, I'm sure you're thinking maybe 50 years out as well, right? So with AI, is there any impact? Is there any impact in the physical world? I'm sure there will be some automation while creating these systems, but has it directly impacted, or will it impact? Do you see any connection of AI with the systems that you're building?
Today it's too early, but I believe that AI will help us in terms of collecting data, understanding about. It's not setting new. It's not that smart yet that it would set latest trends which are needed in the future. So I believe here it really very much relies still, luckily, on the human being with all his mindset and her mindset in order to be creative and come up with new ideas. So I believe AI will obviously and has already an impact, but I don't see it yet that much that it is impacting our industry. Yeah.
Yeah, with my limited understanding also, I think maybe the AI worlds can connect to 3D printers, but still it would be one-off pieces, or some innovation or some futuristic stuff. But it to deeply integrate in the ecosystem and the supply chain, I think it's a way far out. Cool. And you, second point which you spoke about was the global scale and the design trends that are happening. So could you tell us about what are these design trends or innovation at a international furniture landscape, and then particularly in India, and especially for young designers or architects or interior designers to spot these trends? What do you see from your perspective?
I believe global trend definitely is all about sustainability, which is good and important. And also here, we as Satish, 106 years old, it's always about sustainable growth, and sustainable can be everything. But in terms of sustainability and the link to the carbon footprint, we as a group, we are aiming to become carbon neutral by latest 2030, and in doing so, also obviously we are designing our products accordingly and also selecting the materials which are helping us on our way to become carbon neutral. So this sustainability is definitely a topic, and young Indian designers can draw inspiration from these international trends, like I was saying, sustainability, but also combining Indian traditional craftsmanship with contemporary styles from transversely Italian brands. Create a cultural fusion. Ergonomic designs are essential for modern work spaces. Also, some Italian shows must follow, for example, Eurocucina Milano, where we are also every year coming up with new innovative trends, which we are sharing with our partners. So definitely, and that's important. Yeah.
And being such a respected and a well-known brand across the globe, could you tell us a little bit about it? Like, are there any programs? Are there any resources that you are collecting just to promote the sustainable growth, using sustainable materials and incorporating or asking or encouraging designers and architects to practice that in their system, in their houses?
Hettich supports designers in realizing their ideas through various resources. So the Hettich Technical Academy offers, for example, training on design thinking and hardware, while we have an app, a design gallery app, which showcases innovative concepts. So detailed CAD and BIM data on the e-service portal are helping to integrate Hettich components accurately. So expert customer support and also consultation at our Hettich Potter Woodworking Institute assists them with troubleshooting. So additionally, we do also run design internship programs with design schools, helping building designers to bridge the gap between maximum of a creativity and but also, let's say, a basic technical execution using the Hettich advanced system. So we have a huge portfolio of let's say a supporting system for interior designers and architects.
I'm just curious to understand, because it has a lot to do with building sustainably and also more modular in nature so that it can be used across, right? So does that translate into a bit monotonous for, is that a constraint which designers or people have come across, or given feedback as that, yes, then every house would look the same, right? So how do you handle that challenge?
I believe modular design aspect. I understand your concern. Just from an economical aspect, obviously, if you go modular, you are becoming more efficient in your processes, and the products and the solutions are becoming more affordable, which is also obviously in the interest of the end consumer. But I don't see it as let's say discrepancy towards design flexibility. So, for example, we have a product, it's a Dora system actually, which is called Avantec U, modular platform concept. On the one hand side, you may think you are losing somehow the design flexibility because it's just one drawer with one design. But we have designed and innovated this product in such a way that we provide 100% flexibility up to the last point, and the interest of the end consumer. So in fact, the end consumer can decide, for example, in which color, in which material he wants to have the Avantec U drawer system. So and the carpenter or the OEM, he can customize according to his wishes. So on the one hand side, I believe modularization is important in terms of efficiency, but also in terms of quality, and quality in terms of execution, and quality in terms of materials you are using. But on the other hand side, it's not harming the individualization. So
where do you get your inspiration from? As in, Hitesh gets his inspiration from, apart from those like bunch of companies in Germany, in the mini Silicon Valley, where are, like, how do you spot trends, or how do you kind of engage with other people to innovate at your level also?
I mean, obviously, it's about understanding about global trends, like we were touching already, digitalization, individualization, sustainability. So to catch up these global trends, which is coming from inside also, and to see, okay, how does this affect our business and the solutions which we are providing to the industry. So here we are always alert, and we are trying to understand what is happening globally. This is one view. The other view is obviously in here and today to be everywhere where we have the meet and greet with our industry, where there are important exhibitions like the Interzoom we were referring to, which is for us the most important exhibition, which is happening every 2 years in Cologne, in Germany, or in Milano, Eurocucina. SICAM is happening now in the month of October in Italy again. So obviously here we are catching up, and we are in exchange also with our partners and customers. Then I was also referring to our independent vertical, which is always thinking 20 years into the future. So I believe it's a combination of many things. And last but not least, the independency and the freedom also to say we are as close as possible to the needs of the market. So, and the needs can be completely different coming from the different cultures also around the world. So, and here we are deriving maybe a product which we are developing today for the Indian market can very well be a global product in the future. So trends are also changing. So, and opportunities are coming.
In fact, it's a good segue, because my next question was related to Indian consumers. Their needs are constantly evolving. It's a growing market. So, have you spotted any unique design considerations specific to Indian market, given the space constraints, given the affordability, specific changes you have done for Indian market?
I believe obviously urbanization, driving people to live in, take Mumbai as an example, as a high density or high density populated area. So it's just going vertical, not horizontal. So, and this creates a demand for smart, efficient use of space. So, and here Hettich's tiny house and transforming room concept are, yeah, these are in fact innovative concepts designed to optimize every square inch, making compact living both stylish but also functional and transformable. So this aligns perfectly with the urbanization trend, offering solutions that yeah, cater to the growing demand for efficient use of space. So from using drawers on and sliding doors that glide, like you can say, effortless to multifunctional furniture pieces. So the small house optimizes and maximizes the space for the consumer. And in the transforming room concept, also a moving wall effortless transitions your living area from a comfortable red room to yeah, a living room and all in one swift motion. So this innovation offers also flexibility and convenience, so catering to your individual and evolving needs. So yeah, urbanization definitely you can see in India is, but also individualization. So these are the hot topics at the moment. And I would also say that sustainability, and I'm happy that also sustainability becomes more and more visible, and it's also more and more demanded. So even we are asked nowadays, like, what is your agenda? What are you doing in order to be more green? And see, these discussions are helping all of us in order to also add value to our society.
Hetish or German brands, what our association is, they're built to last. With changing demands, and people want innovation and changing their houses frequently, there are certain materials which are used which are, like, actually have a very short shelf life. Are you finding that tricky balance to build to last, but it has to change also because people like change? So how are you balancing those two positions, both responding from the same market?
Yeah, I mean, I believe if you are investing into a kitchen and you are coming from a middle class family, that's where we are starting to enter, right? So with our solutions, then definitely in most of the cases, I would say, doesn't matter if it is in India or in US, you are not buying and investing into a kitchen for the next 3 to 5 years only. So in most cases, minimum you expect a lifetime of 10 years and even more. So and that's where we also have the minimum, let's say, expectation on our solutions that the lifetime of a kitchen, that's the minimum request of what our products always should be able to fulfill, and that's also our quality promise what we are giving. So at the end of the day, it's also about setting a standard and not going beyond a certain standard, because see, we are 136 years old also because of our strong fundament and the strong core values when it comes to innovation, when it comes to quality, sustainability, reliability. So, and at the end of the day, we do strongly believe that the end customer will also appreciate the same.
Andre, for young designers like interested in this career, right? So apart from serving the end client, if they want to work upstream in Hitesh, or be part of that innovation that you people are doing, how can one go about it, or how does Hitesh empower these designers?
So, especially the young designers, we try to be as close as possible already during that time of when they are still on the university, right? So we try to get in touch with them also to build a bridge and to pitch the brand. To be honest, because we do on the one hand side also believe that the support which we are providing to the young generation, they will carry this with them for a lifetime, and they will in the best case, become a brand ambassador of Fetish and supporting us in their future career. If it is outside of Fetish, then best case they are becoming a customer of us or they are pitching our brand. And on the other hand side, also we have great opportunities within our organization for young designers to start their career with. So we have our own design team who is, for example, helping the end consumer who is coming to our touch points, our experience centers, which we have all across the country, to catch up their ideas and to transform this into a first, let's say, design idea how the kitchen could look like, for example. So, and here we have a big team working pan India, helping us to understand about the needs of the end customer, and it's also a good opportunity for a young designer to start his career within our organization. And I mean, from there, you never know how the journey will continue. So means there is always scope also to grow in our organization and to start also vertical, to step left and right and test new waters. I can say that me, for example, I started 15 years ago in the organization as an engineer. So, I had a chance in the trainee program to go also really like left and right. I was looking into controlling. I was part of the product management team for a time being. Then I was also in the quality management and in sales. So means there are various career opportunities in our organization for each and everybody who is interested to join us.
So anything you want to conclude by sharing a story, fun fact, anything that will the conversation going on in the listener's mind?
I mean, thanks for asking spontaneously. I have two topics in mind. On the one hand side, it's not a fun fact. I guess it's a serious topic which is affecting our industry, especially in the way of doing business in India. And this is about the BRS standards, so the Bureau of Indian Standardization, which is more and more also concluding the furniture fittings under the umbrella. Means at the end of the day, this is helping the industry to, let's say, with common standards to increase the quality and the safety level of the products which are either imported from XYZ countries into India, or which are produced in India, which was not in place before. So beforehand, it was more like obligation to say you're referring to a European DIN ISO standard or any other standard, but it was not a must. So, and I personally had the chance during the last weeks to meet the Minister of Industry and Commerce in India, Mr. Piyush Goyal, also to understand more about his plans and way going forward in terms of the BIS and how this is affecting our industry. So from a mid and long-term perspective, I believe it will be very positive because, as I have mentioned, it will have a positive impact on the quality standard and the safety of the products, which we are selling in consuming in India. On the other hand side, from a short-term perspective, since many of our solutions which are going into kitchens, into the living areas, into the bathroom areas, they are imported still. So, and not all of those solutions are meeting the BIS criteria. And means this is somehow, from a short-term perspective, disrupting a little bit the supply chain. So, and this makes the industry a little bit nervous on the one hand side, but on the other hand side, it will also translate into further investments into the Indian market, means made in India for India, meeting the BIS requirements. So, which will also translate into jobs which are being created. And as everybody knows, India is not only the country with the highest population, but I believe also the youngest population, with an average age at around, might be wrong, but 27, 20 years old. So the people, they need to be employed. They need to be able to also feed their families. So I believe BIS is a topic which you should have heard about. It's important. We as ETICH, we are prepared. We are happy because on the one hand side, we have our factories mainly in Germany, which are meeting the BIS criteria. So here it's just about a bureaucratic process where you have to apply, then you get the approval. On the other hand side, we have our Indian setup where we also manufacture. We have just recently got the first BIS license for the products which we are producing in India. So that's for us a good and important, but also a strategical step from the government. So that's very important. And just to share an internal with you from a Hettich perspective, obviously I have to also promote our strengths a little bit. So we had a very uncertain event a couple of weeks or months ago. In fact, it was the 13th of May, I believe. At 3:30 in the morning, I got a call from my CFO, and we had a serious fire incident. So where our central warehouse, which is located in Mumbai, completely burned down. So, and our entire goods which we were keeping there, which were supposed to be supplied in the next 3 to 4 weeks, all of them got vanished within 24 hours of time. Luckily, nobody got injured, right? So this is the most important. But on the other hand side, in the middle of the month, from one day to the next, not being able to supply to our customers. So this was a very dramatical situation. But on the other hand side, talking about supply chain and talking about also our commitment on quality, delivery, reliability, and never giving up, which is also part of our core DNA. We were able to make really use of our global strengths, and we were at the end of the day closing the gap in the supply chain with efforts of our global supply chain, making it really possible that we were even fulfilling almost every customer order within the same month only. So this was an unbelievable task. You can imagine a lot of air freights which were happening, a lot of communication, crisis mode, task force mode, and everything. But at the end of the day, we were informing the customers. We were saying on the same day, that's the situation. You don't worry, we will manage, and we kept our promises. So this is something which I'm personally proud about, because this shows also how committed we are when it comes to our core values and catering our customers out there. Yeah.
Yeah. I think when the commitment is like totally there, the respect for the brand also improves a lot. And with such a long legacy, I think it totally deserves the respect and the love from designers, architects, engineers, everyone to see and grow Hetish for next 136 years again. So on that note, I think thanks Andre for giving your time. I look forward to having you again. And yeah,
Thank you, Keda. Also, for me, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me here today. So it's always special and always uncertain, like what questions may come up. I hope you're also happy with the feedback what you got. So I personally felt very comfortable, and it's a great platform. And I believe it's also helping our industry to understand about more what is happening. So I'm a fan of you. I'm also following you. So please keep on going.
thank you. It's an honor. Thanks a lot. And that's it from today's GAN session. For show notes and more GAN, visit audiogan.com. And if you wish to connect with me, I am at AudioGAN Moments on Instagram. Until then, take care.